how much it cost me to attend Breakaway Music Festival in North Carolina. I attended Breakaway Music Festival in North Carolina for the very first time. It was my very first time in North Carolina, so obviously my first time going to Breakaway in North Carolina. If you don't know what Breakaway is, it is a chain festival. So they have breakaways in other states, so in Georgia, Minnesota, Florida, but I attended the North Carolina one. And how much did it cost me? So I like to make these videos to help ravers and travelers budget and see what it costs to actually attend these festivals in other states, because I know a lot of people just kind of rave in their own cities and they don't have to travel for them and all that, but I am the traveling raver. I like to experience as many festivals across the United States and the world as I can, and a lot of people just have this conception that traveling can be so expensive, but it doesn't always have to be. So I just like to put these cost videos out there to keep people informed and so they can budget accordingly for when they go, like for flights, for hotels, for food, because there's so many other costs that go into traveling for festivals than just the ticket and just the accommodations. That's why I make these videos, and let's get into the cost breakdown. So I only attended one day of Breakaway Music Festival just because I didn't like the lineup for both days. I only wanted to go the one day, so I didn't need to buy a 2-day ticket if I didn't care for the second day of the festival. So I only went Friday. So before I even went to North Carolina, I bought a VIP ticket and it was on tier 5, and that cost me $197.86. Now, if you want to see what a VIP ticket gets you at Breakaway Music Festival, then go ahead and watch my video explaining VIP versus GA and if I think it's worth it for you or not. So that was a cost I spent before I even went to North Carolina. I also had to buy my flight. I'm coming from Austin and I flew into Charlotte, so I needed a round trip ticket. I flew American Airlines and that cost me $468.96. I went to North Carolina for 2 reasons. I have a friend that moved there like about a year ago, so I've been wanting to visit her. So this is what I do. When I want to go visit a place, I also want to see if there's a festival there. I found Breakaway, North Carolina. I only wanted to do one day of the festival, and then I was going to spend the rest of my time in North Carolina. So just kind of prefacing that I went to Breakaway for one day, but I also had another reason to be in North Carolina. I didn't just go to North Carolina just for one day of Breakaway. I also spent some time outside of there. Because I have a friend there, I was able to stay with her when I went to go visit her, but I needed an accommodation near the festival just to make it easier for me to get in and out there. I was in North Carolina for 4 days, so from Thursday through Sunday. So Thursday, Friday, I stayed in a hotel, and then Saturday, I stayed with my friend, and then I left Sunday night. I booked a hotel that was walking distance to Breakaway because I didn't want to deal with Ubers, I didn't want to deal with shuttles. I just wanted to kind of eliminate that cost and get a hotel that was nearby. I stayed at the Residence Inn by Marriott, and for a 2-night stay, that cost was $459.21. However, it was completely free for me because I used my travel rewards to pay for that. Now, if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, like what do you mean free travel rewards, go ahead and watch this video. I explain how I use my credit cards for cash back and travel rewards to be able to redeem for free things or get money back. I got a 2-night stay completely free because I had enough points to convert over. That didn't cost me any money, my hotel stay. For the cost of me to attend Breakaway, so my ticket and I guess the flight to get there, whether I was going to go see my friend or not, or just go to the festival, I still had to fly from Austin to North Carolina, so I'm going to count the flight and the cost of my festival expense. While I was at the festival, I did have 2 meals there, so they were $16.05 each. So between my 2 meals, my flight, and my VIP ticket, my total Breakaway expenses were $698.92. Like, that is pretty damn good. But again, I didn't have to pay for my hotel. And if I would have went 2 days, it would have been a lot more expensive because I would have had to buy a 2-day ticket. And then I also would have had to buy more food the next day. And an expense that I saved on that I usually get is merch. Like, I didn't buy any merch at this festival. None of it kind of spoke to me. I typically always buy merch, but if there's nothing that I like, I'm not just gonna spend the money just for the sake of getting merch. So this so far has actually been the cheapest festival that I have attended this year. Now I'm gonna talk about the other expenses that I've accumulated throughout the weekend. So for food and drinks, that took place across the 4 days, I spent $107.53 for Ubers because I had to get from the airport to my hotel, from the hotel to go get dinner, and then from the hotel to my friend's house. For the total cost of rideshare, so whether it was Lyft or Uber, cost me $97.89. I went to Patterson Farm, which is a pumpkin patch. So that's something that I did with my friend, and that cost me $87.26. Now that might seem a lot because you're like, why was a pumpkin patch that expensive? So I did buy myself, my friend, and her friend a ticket. That was my way of like showing them thank you for hosting me because they're the ones that I stayed with. And so half of that, more than half of that is made up of the tickets. But then I also bought some fun foods while I was there, like a pumpkin ice cream and a cinnamon donut and some treats. So that's why a pumpkin patch was a lot of money. We went into a bookstore. So my friend lives in Mooresville, which is like 30-40 minutes outside of Charlotte. So they took me into the little downtown area, went into a beautiful bookstore, and I bought 2 books while I was in there, and that cost me $23.46. And then I paid to park my car at the airport for 4 days of parking while I was away in North Carolina. That cost me $48. The total cost of everything that I spent for 4 days in North Carolina, that includes my time at the festival and then my time with my friends and then all the logistics that go around it, like airport parking, Ubers, this, that, and the other, that cost me $1,063.06. That could have been $400, almost $500 more if my hotel was not covered by points. And say if I would have went to North Carolina, I didn't know anybody, I would have had to spend more on another accommodation. So even though, yes, this is very affordable for 4 days in another state, I know my circumstances are a little bit different just because I did have friends to stay with, and then I did have the travel rewards to cover my festival hotel. This is a little bit more affordable than probably if somebody went to North Carolina for 4 days that didn't have a place to stay or travel rewards. But just kind of giving you guys an idea that having a travel rewards credit card can help you pay for things and help you keep traveling and raving. You're getting money back on the money that you're already spending, and then you can turn around and get future things for free. So that's why I love credit cards with points or cash back. So that's how much I spent for 4 days in North Carolina. I'm very grateful that this was such an affordable trip, and I got to experience a new festival and a new state out of it, because I think I mentioned like I haven't been to Breakaway or North Carolina, and it was also nice to see a friend. I'm always happy when I can travel very affordably. Love that, because that means I can keep taking more trips. And again, everything that I spent, I used my rewards cards for, so I just made money on all of those purchases and more points back for future travel. So thank you guys for watching. The next video is going to be a full in-depth review and breakdown of my time at Breakaway Music Festival, where I cover everything, where I talk about the venue and where it's at, what the crowd was like, the music, the production, this, that, and the other, all of it. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.